I've just checked in and have not heard back.
Yeah.
It looks like you've sent 3 unanswered messages
That's correct.
to the boy.
I said, are you awake? Have you left? Are you going to be on time? And I've gotten nothing back. Yeah, no bubbles. No
bubbles.
No thought bubbles yet either.
That's a bad sign.
We are,
he's not brushing.
Oh, God, no. Of course not.
I'm going to the orthodontist. They'll brush it for me there.
That's his mentality. That's his whole mentality. His whole thing, if you missed this, he's got to go to the orthodontist because he's got a broken bracket on his braces today, 8 a.m. Eastern. That's 27 minutes from now.
Do you know, Kelly, what broke the bracket? Well, has he come clean on what it was?
Slim Jim.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Snap it to a Slim Jim.
Listen, when he first got these braces, now remember, he got the braces because he put on Invisaligns for 2 years. The orthodontist told me, we'll have these ship-shape in 18 months, don't worry. And we were now over 2 years in, and the orthodontist finally said to me, we've seen no movement at all. He goes, this is a first in my career. We've seen, and I've been doing this 25 years. And he said,
you think deep down the orthodontist blames himself and Invisalign?
No.
Not knowing the weakest link was the son?
No, because he told us, he's like, I promise you, he's not wearing them. And I said, I believe you.
Yeah, you don't have to convince me.
Right. I was afraid he's going to blame me. I mean, but how much can you say?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say to him every day, are your Invisaligns in? I just ate. And that would be like from 2 hours ago. I mean, his pocket. The great thing about Invisaligns is you can take them out to eat, and then you eat, and then you rinse out with water or brush or whatever, and you put them back in. So
you got no choice.
No,
you can't have the Slim Jims or the Laffy Taffy.
So he would take them out, and I would say, are they in your mouth? And he'd go, no, but I just ate at lunch. Well, it's like 3:30, and you got to put them back in. So now, and the dentist, the orthodontist finally said, he's just got to get braces. He has to. So he gave me a break on price because he's taken so much of my money already. He said,
nobody has this much money.
I mean, I just can't soak you for any more money. I'll give them to you half price. I'll just give them to you.
Look, I'll give you the bottom jaw.
Yeah.
I'll charge you parts, no labor.
So, of course, Dave's right. There's no choice now. You can't take them out. So when he first got the braces, I said, now this means no gum, no ice, no hard things.
All slice your apples if he eats apples.
All of those things. That one.
I know.
Right. But all of those things. And when I told him that, he goes, I'll give that some thought. I said, there's no thinking about it. So when he ripped it, I said, what did you eat? And he said, a Slim Jim. And I said, that's too chewy. So I said, you can't. And so I said, well, no more Slim Jims. He goes, what are you talking about? No more Slim. Like, that didn't even occur to him.
That for 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years, you can't have any more Slim Jims. Oh, he goes, I got to have my Slim Jim. He's like, that's how I subsist. I always stop.
Put it in the blender and eat it.
On the way home. Yeah, what are you supposed to do, And he goes, I can't survive without Slim Jims.
It's fascinating to me that as a business model, that the Invisaligns have been as successful as they have, because you really, as you pointed out, Kelly, you're leaving it entirely up to a teenager.
Yes.
To keep in charge of taking them out, not losing them, and putting them back in.
Well, the thing about not losing them is every week there's a new set. You put, like, if you put them in on a Monday, then you wear them, and you get like 6 sets at a time. So the next Monday you are in charge of updating, because supposedly your teeth move.
Right.
And you put the new set in.
Maybe a little smaller.
But how many are left behind on a cafeteria table?
Oh, many times.
I can't imagine.
But the good thing about it is, if you leave one behind on a cafeteria table, you're only 4 or 5 days away from having to change
the next set.
Right.
Okay.
So that's the whole beauty of it. And the orthodontist told me, he's like, these work great. Kids like them because they can take them out to eat. Even if they lose them, they're inexpensive. You replace. But not for my son. Not for my son.
No.
There's some of them now you get through the mail. Draymond Green advertised it for a while.
That's Smile Direct?
Yes, Smile Direct. That's Invisalign's competitor.
Oh, it is?
They're the same thing.
Same model.
But the Smile Direct, they say, skip the orthodontist. Just order these. We'll fit your mouth.
Do they just send you like a mold?
They must. They have to.
Yeah, because you have to. Somebody has to look at your teeth.
Well, every time my son would go in every 6 weeks to have them upgraded, I could see the orthodontist through the window, like, pounding on me, because they. Why won't you fit? It's like they were trying to crack his chest. No, damn it, not today! Not today!
That incisor is not moving!
You bastard, you won't win.
So I'm seeing it. And then my son would come out and say, how did it go? He'd be like, fine. Went great. No problem. No problems. And so finally he said, we're just not able to do it. Well, my son is awake.
Wait a minute.
He has sent back. Yeah, he sent back a nonsensical picture of, I believe, his teacher. That's what he does. He never answers my questions. He just sends back pictures. Just random people. There's another. They come through of just random pictures. So he is awake.
His teacher looks kind of like Biggie with eyes.
That's what I was
a little bit older.
Yesterday there was a huge fight at school, and he's like,
oh.
So this huge fight broke out like in the atrium, the area where you enter.
That happens.
Of course. It threw me back to my
late in the school year. Right.
Everybody's
done mentally.
And I said, well, I hope you stayed away from it. He goes, I ran to get video.
That's what's happening.
Well, see, that's the thing, too. And it dawned on me back when we were in school, there was no video. You just watched it. You watched the
Now
fight.
you need a good vantage point.
Well, yeah. He was right above it. And
I'm sure there were 50 phones recorded.
Oh, yeah. And he goes, Dad, you got to see this fight. And I was like, all right. And he goes, now you are going to hear the N-word. And I was like, really? And he goes, it's okay. It's two black guys.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see it.
And now it's in your cloud.
I was worried. Yeah, of course. And I was like, I was worried about it for a minute.
Oh, is that all?
So they're screaming at each other, come on in. And they go at it. And then this teacher.
Was blood spilled?
No, it was pretty quick. He said, it's a pretty rough fight. It's just a couple of minutes. And this teacher, who he goes, watch Mr. Z try to get involved. And so the guy comes over to try to break it up. And of course, he's kind of drawn up into it. And my son goes, that is hilarious. He can't do anything. You just want to strangle him, Yeah. So anyhow, big fight. I told him the worst fight I ever saw, I know I've told you this, was two girls when I was in high school. They were like 17. And it was in the lunchroom, and they fought.
They fight to the death.
Oh, my God. They fought like crazy. If I had that on video, I would have uploaded it to whatever. That was something. That really was.
I mean, the girl with the hair pulling is such a whole different element.
Kicking.
And then the multiple.
Yeah.
And I think MMA has changed fighting.
You think so?
I do, because now there's the ground and pound. Once you get someone down, in my day, the fight was over.
Yes, you're right.
But now when someone goes down, it's just begun.
Well, that's how this fight was.
You accelerate the fists, the feet come into play.
Right.
Yeah.
And my son said, he said, you're going to hear the N-word. And I said, am I going to hear the F-word also? He goes, well, of course.
I'm talking about just bad words.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering you about the bad words.
Of course.